Today, you're connected more than ever. Your friends, your family, your life. Having a partner that understands banking is what you do on your time, anywhere you like. It's about being connected. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
Sponsored by Renaissance Bank.
Good morning, Northeast Mississippi. This is Newsbreak for Friday, October 21st. I'm Brad Locke. Thanks for joining us as we get into the weekend. Newsbreak, by the way, if you haven't tuned in before, comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. You can watch at djournal.com, our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, or our mobile apps for Apple and Android devices. All right, let's take a look at the Weather Underground forecast. Going to have a beautiful weekend with temperatures falling. Today, we're going to have clear skies, a high of 69 degrees, low of 41, a 0% chance of rain. Saturday, clear skies, high of 70, low of 42, 0% chance of rain. Sunday, clear skies again with a high of 78, low of 47, and again a 0% chance of rain. And then just warming up a little bit more on Monday, partly cloudy, high of 80, low of 49, 0% chance of rain. Okay, let's take a look now at some of the top stories from your Daily Journal and djournal.com. New letter grades for Mississippi schools and districts were released on Thursday, and they were calculated using a new model for the first time. Since 2013, schools have been allowed to keep their highest grade as their official rating by using a waiver. The waiver was designed so schools wouldn't be penalized for lower test scores while the state transitioned to new standards and new state tests. Schools recently implemented the Mississippi College and Career Ready standards, similar to Common Core. Of the state's 148 school districts, only 15 received an A rating. Two of those districts are in Northeast Mississippi, Booneville and Oxford. The Tupelo Public School District received a B, while the Lee County School District got a C. Okolona Schools was the only local district to draw an F grade. Now, many superintendents have expressed concern with the accountability model, saying that student growth from year to year carries too much weight. The current model shifts emphasis from high test scores to high growth rates, meaning that a district with large numbers of students scoring well on state tests but not showing enough growth could rank lower than a district with lower test scores and high growth. A Monroe County man has been charged in a shooting that took place Wednesday night at Cooper Tire's Tupelo manufacturing plant. Tyson O'Neill Stewart of Aberdeen was booked into the Lee County Adult Jail on a charge of aggravated assault. The 27-year-old was arrested near the plant shortly after the shooting, to which police responded around 8:15 p.m. The victim was shot multiple times, according to Tupelo Police Chief Bart Aguirre, and he was listed in stable condition at North Mississippi Medical Center as of Thursday. The victim's identity has not been revealed. According to police, Stewart and the victim had some sort of ongoing dispute, and no other suspects were being sought. Both men were temporary employees. The incident and resulting investigation disrupted manufacturing Wednesday night, but the plant remains in operation. It has been 100 years since Coca-Cola started being bottled here in Tupelo. The company celebrated its anniversary with a reception on Thursday night at the Tupelo Automobile Museum. The event featured state and local dignitaries, as well as Coca-Cola collectibles and memorabilia spanning 100 years. Now, while Coca-Cola began in 1886, it was not until 1906 that the northern Mississippi area began receiving the beverage from New Albany. Tupelo received some Coca-Cola by rail from New Albany for 10 years until 1916, when A. Kenneth Weaver received franchise rights for Lee and Itawamba counties out of Tupelo. Tupelo Coca-Cola started with 15 employees and sold about 1,000 cases per month in its first year at 5 cents per 6.5 ounce bottle. Today, Tupelo Coca-Cola employs 65 people and is part of the same original family's business, and now serves nearly 1 million people throughout Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Missouri. Third-generation family owner-operator Sandy Williams said in a press release, the company has grown as the Tupelo area has grown too. And in sports, Ole Miss and Mississippi State both suffered road losses on the gridiron last weekend, with the Rebels falling to Arkansas 34-30 and the Bulldogs losing to BYU 28-21 in double overtime. This Saturday, both teams are on the road again as they look to bounce back. Ole Miss travels to Death Valley to take on LSU, which is now coached by former Rebel head man Ed Orgeron. He's been interim head coach since Les Miles was fired earlier this season. MSU visits Kentucky, a team that hasn't beaten state head coach Dan Mullen in 7 tries. And on the high school front, several big division games are on tap tonight. Baldwin visits Walnut in Division 1-2A. Vardaman battles Smithville in 1-1A, and Itawamba AHS takes on Papanatuck in 1-4A. That's it for Newsbreak today. We do want to remind you to check out the Memo podcast 3 days a week. You can find us on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Myself and W. Derek Russell. All things Northeast Mississippi news and entertainment. Listen to it for free in iTunes or podcast apps or at memo.djournal.com. Actually, M. Scott Morris hosted with me on Thursday, and he reviewed the movie The Accountant. We also spoke with Emma Kent about those test scores that I mentioned earlier. All right, all these stories I talked about today you can find in your Daily Journal and at djournal.com. Follow us on Twitter at djournalnow and give our Facebook page a like as well. That's it for Newsbreak. I'm Brad Locke. Hope everyone has a great weekend. See you next time.